Final Fantasy VII Rebirth blew all of my expectations out of the water. You guys know how much I love Final Fantasy VII Remake, and of course, Crisis Core. I've put over 100 hours into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I can't believe how much of a near perfect game this game is. And I know some of you might look at the game and think, oh, I don't think this is for me, I don't like the combat, is the story that deep? I'm someone who didn't actually care about Final Fantasy, and I've gone from not really liking it for it to become one of my favorite gaming franchises today. And with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the action, the story,
oh my god,
the characters, and the open world activities is crazy. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't come with its problems.
Anton, we're going to be moving soon, so you better start packing.
Well, that's what I'm going to do right now.
We are ready to do this.
24 hours later.
I've been doing this for 3 hours. What? Perfect score! Stop it, Cloud. That's it. Fly, my chocobo chicken. Why is this? I should not be enjoying this. Oh. Perfect score! Stop it!
I didn't think the experience I had with Final Fantasy VII Remake could be topped. It was a game that I played quite a while back, and after about 1 hour I decided to just quit. So you guys were telling me, no,
play this damn game.
After 3 hours of playing the game, I got used to the combat, I was invested in the story, and I was just like, wow, I'm totally invested in this now. I actually prefer the combat in 7 and 7 Rebirth than I did to 16, and I freaking loved that game. Now, if you love the story to 7 Remake, then there is no doubt that you are going to love the story to 7 Rebirth. There are existing characters that you love, but there are also new characters which I thought, oh, okay, will I actually like these characters? But my gosh, the way this game introduces these new characters and gives them a backstory and gives them depth, I fell in love with nearly all of the characters that were introduced. Ketshi, the cutest little cat who I loved so much, and I think I got his name right.
Dangly man, would you mind checking one more time?
Yuffie, who arguably isn't a new character and was in Crisis Core as a little kid, but also didn't realize the DLC intermission, which I didn't actually know I missed it. It's about her and you play as her, and I believe it's her backstory, which I need to go back and play. But she was annoying at first, and then I thought, I really like her. She's got so much energy, such enthusiasm.
Absolutely right. You couldn't have done any of this without my incredible ninjutsu.
And the OG characters, of course. Cloud, who's battling some inner demons with Sephiroth.
Where have you been this whole time? For 5 years.
And even though I haven't completed it yet, I am just on the edge on my seat when shit is going down, especially with Cloud. I just want him to be okay. Aerith and Tifa.
Cloud? Something wrong?
No, nothing.
Go first.
Some sage advice, Mr. Pasty.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
I love them all, but one character for me who I feel like has had the most depth and backstory, which literally made me cry, was Barret.
Y'all saw the aftermath. And then, Shinra came rolling into town. Burned everything. Innocent people in their homes.
You find out the backstory to some of these characters, and I loved that they dived into them, especially with Red. I actually loved that character, and there is a lot of depth to him, shall I say.
You want to explore this place.
understand the nature of its history.
Before we continue the video, this video is sponsored by Maono, one of the best companies for streamers and gamers and for anyone who wants to take their streaming to the next level. And with my code, you can get 10% off with code NEUTRO10 or by clicking the link below. You're probably thinking, why is your mic and sound quality a lot better than the actual video? It's because I'm using the Maono PD 100X mic and it is incredible. It is helping me take my YouTube career to the next level. First of all, you can change the colors to the mic so it matches the atmosphere of your gaming area, and I've been using this on my streams recently. But not only that, they sent the G1 Neo, which allows me to directly control my mic when I'm streaming and recording, and there are 11 RGB lights to choose from. But I can control the volume with ease, the gain, the noise reducer, but not only that, which I freaking love, I can change
My freaking voice.
if I want to sound like a
Maybe I can do that with the click of a button. Or if I wanted to
Sound like Abby Zilla, then I can also sound like that too.
I've just ordered the arm so I can attach it to my desk where it's going to be even more convenient to get the best sound. So I recommend purchasing the gaming gear bundle, which is what I've got. And this will just transform your gaming and streaming game to another level. You can use my code NEUTRO10 for 10% off or use the link in the description below. Man, I love the voice change.
This is crazy.
The game starts at 100 miles an hour and I just loved seeing what happened. Don't worry, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but all I will say is please make sure you play 7 Remake and Crisis Core. You have flashbacks from the past as you are finding out how Sephiroth became a world killer and why he turned the way he did. And let me just say, this story is so dark at times, I was just like,
Come on, let's get you up.
Oh! He literally just turns! Have they got any bullets in these damn guns? Oh. Oh my god. What the absolute frick?
but I've spent so much time doing other side quests and mini games, way more than I should do. That's just me. I like doing the useless stuff that I got addicted to. Now, I know a lot of people have said about how long this game and a lot of mini games and useless stuff. There's a lot of things in here that are arguably your choice. I choose to do all of these other side quests and mini games, and some of them you don't have to do, which is nice. Some of them are compulsory and you need it to progress the story, but most of the time you could blitz through a lot of these. Even though it may look the same to 7 Remake, there are some massive improvements which just took the game to another level. First of all, I wasn't a fan of the upgrade system in Remake, and I just didn't like the interface, and it is now different with Rebirth. For me, it looks just so much better. There are skill trees where you can choose what you upgrade on, whether it's health, attack, increased magic attack or defense, or improved synergy attacks, which are crazy.
Synergy. Double. Let's go.
Take the lead. It's on now. Whoa. That was insane.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
But by far my favorite is when you have built enough ATB on both characters that are equal to the amount that is required for these synergy skills. I think that's how it works. When these synergy attacks, when they go down and you use them, oh my gosh, it did get me hyped.
We ain't dying today!
Oh, you in trouble now. Come
Hells, look at this!
That's a mighty fine staircase. Thank you kindly.
These abilities just made these epic boss fights and enemy fights so enjoyable once you had built up enough ATB. I made sure from the start I had the assess attached to Cloud. I don't know why I didn't use it or didn't realize. I obviously wasn't listening, but that is essential to know what the weaknesses are to these enemies. And once I knew what they were weak to, I was able to choose specific members' attacks and spells. The combat is some of the best in the game, but what I absolutely loved, which I didn't think I would, I thought I would be sticking to the same team members, but you can choose for certain team members and you have a choice of 3. Chose like Tifa and Barret, Aerith and Red, Cat Thingamajig, and so you have the ability to switch these at any point really when you're not in combat. And I thought I would just stick to the same team, but I didn't, and I loved this about the game. I loved switching from different team members, finding out what they were strong at, and I was just changing things up, and it just made the game so much better because it made me want to choose different team members and find out how does this work, how do they play. And even with the new characters, they're so individualized and they're so unique. I loved playing as them. Aerith is a bit slow, but still, she was still good. Red is really quick. I love the way he moves, and there's a point in the game where you're actually playing as him, and I just love the way he was going up walls when he's not in combat, but that was for a specific mission. Yuffie, I loved how quick she was, and she had these kind of boomerangs things where she could just launch up in the air, press triangle. She was cool. I really liked how quick her combat was when it was needed with specific enemies. When it comes to the materia, I'm still a beginner and I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. I know a lot of you, or some of you on stream, were telling me you need to kind of match certain materia together. I was like, huh? If I see my stats go up, I just attach that materia. I try and have like a range of different like fire and electric and wind and stuff like that, so I can have a balance depending on what enemy I'm coming up against. But I still don't really know how the materia works, so I might need a bit of help with that. And another great tool they added in the game was the transmuter, which has the ability to craft certain items like pillows. For when you find these chocobo stops, you have to craft pillows. Not sure why you have to craft pillows. I don't know why they added that, but still, these chocobos are so cute, the way you get to pet them afterwards. And you'll also be able to craft in this, and as you craft certain items and equipment, your crafting level will increase and you will unlock new items and gear to craft. And you can also upgrade your current team members' equipment if you've got the right materials. Now, the biggest thing that this game does differently from 7 Remake, which is probably why it's taken me so long, which I love, there's also some negatives, is that this is an open world game. And oh my gosh, I freaking love the way this open world game works. And if you're someone like me that once you like a game for its story, its characters, I don't really care how slow the pace goes. I love doing every single little thing to do. I'm not someone who likes to rush. Even you guys see me playing Black Myth Wukong. I need to go to every little bit of area in case I miss something I like to do. The graphics are unreal. I love the art style. The frame rate is insane, and the areas you get to visit in this are incredible. And there are a total of 7 areas you get to visit: Grasslands region, the Junon region, Coral region, Gongaga region, Cosmo Canyon, and the last, the Nebel region and the Meridian Ocean region. That's how big this game is. I'm making sure I 100% each open world. I still need to get to those.
How are you going to be on this game? You've got packing
Listen,
to do.
you don't understand. I'm trying to stop Sephiroth. It's important.
You have lost the plot.
I bet you can't wait to move in for the rest of our lives. What was that? In each different main area, there is so much to do. Intel Towers, which I love the sound of your little tool when you complete it. The way the sound effects are so good. And you'll know what I mean if you know what I mean. There are fights with certain monsters which you have to tick off the 3 objectives to get a perfect score.
Ready? I'm in!
Battle objective completed. I knew you had it in you. Way to go!
You have life sprints, which require to press triangle button in order to learn more about the area you're in. And I think it's such a small little mini game of pressing the button, but the music and how relaxing it is, I love it. It's just so relaxing. also have divine intel, which helps weaken the summon challenges that you can do in the simulator when you see Chadley. You have to remember the sequences and then repeat it back. I love the music and the sound effects of when you accomplish it. It's just so satisfying. I spent so much more time than I should have in Chadley's simulator, and I just haven't done the big bosses because they're just so hard, even though you can lower the difficulty. So much to do. Usually the battles in the simulator are around of 3, but the big boss fights in there, which I haven't done, you can beat like E3 and Bahamut.
What?
Now, the card game, Queen's Blood, can be very frustrating at the start, but once I went on YouTube and I changed my deck, because every merchant in every area, I made sure, I believe it was a merchant or someone else, you can buy certain decks and you win cards as you win more and more games. I freaking loved this game in the end. Once I understood what I was doing, oh my gosh, this was so addictive. And again, I spent too much time on these damn games. But once you get it, it became really enjoyable. I can imagine a lot of you might find it frustrating. You just want to get on with the main game. But still, I loved it. I've beaten like over 30 players now. And there's a bit of a backstory about Queen's Blood as well.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay, Foam Stars.
No problem. Bring it.
There we go. We've done it. We have done it.
You got the pixelated battle again where you turn into old school Cloud, and again I like this way too much, where you have to send out troops and you have to be specific with what troops you send out because you will get battered. And I think that's just the completionist in me. I had to do it. Some of them were very hard and I was getting really frustrated, but again, once I looked on YouTube, then it got enjoyable. But I did have to look at a walkthrough. I think that one you had to play, you had to do it, and it can get annoying if you didn't like this mini game. The Moogle quest. In each area you'll find the Moogle tree thing, and then you can buy things off the Moogle afterwards, which again, I didn't buy anything off him, which I should have. I need to go back and do that.
You're a lifesaver, Kupo! Thanks so much, Kupo! Now we can finally open the Emporium! Here you can exchange Moogle medals for cool stuff we found lying around.
And in each open world area, you will recruit a chocobo. And what I loved is that each region will basically have a specific chocobo for the way you traverse the area. Gongaga, you have a chocobo that will jump on mushrooms. And I have to say, the Gongaga region was probably the most frustrating. I had to get on these mushrooms and it just got so confusing at how I was trying to get to certain places. And I had to look on YouTube. I was like, how the hell do I get there? It was a beautiful world.
Okay. Ah, this is beautiful, but how the hell do I get to the damn thing? Where do I go? What mushroom do I go? Hey, I love it. It's kind of pissing me off. Where do I go? YouTube. I didn't want to, but I have to.
The Cosmo area, I love this. And again, the mini game at the start. Oh my god, I spent way too much time. You guys know if you join the streams. Okay, I need to get this on point, guys. I need to get this on point. And even in the coral region, you get a freaking buggy or a car. Get the choice, obviously, of Chocobo, but you get this car, and wow, this is perfect. How can this get better? There's one specific area you get to in the game where you're at this kind of theme park. There's a lot of mini games here, and for the most part, they were fun, and it was just a weird place. There's a mini game that you're a freaking frog, and this was so much fun. Like the thing turns around, and you have to jump over to get a perfect score. That was so much fun. I couldn't believe it.
Honestly, when I say this is going to be the most important mission in the game. No Queen's Blood, no Chocobos, no mini games. This. Oh man, you know, playing as a frog is incredible. How did they think of that? Let's go again. Top score. Let's go.
The There was one minigame in that theme park, Brawler one, where you're pixelated and you have to time your dodges and stuff. That was pretty frustrating. I didn't really like that one. And there's one other game that I kind of just got to. Now I've completed it, I have to do it on hard mode, which is really annoying. Gears and Gambits. Son of a bitch! This game, I have to say, this was the only game I didn't like. I felt like at this point, 70 hours into the game, I feel like I've had enough with the amount of minigames. So when they reintroduced a new minigame, I was like, man, I cannot be bothered to get to know. And this one was really frustrating because I just wanted to get through it as quickly as possible. I was like, another damn minigame, but I don't want to know about this. I completed it. Got to do it on hard mode now. I just found it very confusing. I feel like sometimes they could probably overuse the minigames. And like I said, the 3D brawler minigame where you have to fight and you have to get the time in, I just couldn't get it. The beach area has some fun things to do. You can get on a Segway. Really loved that. I don't know why that was so addictive. Just running into those boxes and causing mayhem. I loved it.
Wow, man, you can ride on a Segway. I'm really good at driving in these games.
And one of the most enjoyable parts, which some of you on stream will know, this is probably the most fun. Probably not for you, but the piano.
Are you coming to bed?
Yeah, I'm coming soon. Give me a sec.
One eternity later.
Final Fantasy is becoming my favorite franchise of all time. Stories they tell, the characters, the gameplay. It's mind-blowing how much I've enjoyed this game. Now, arguably, it isn't for everyone, but if you love a story-driven game, then you have to play 7 Remake, Crisis Core, and then Rebirth. This is a second out of a trilogy. I'm trying to wonder how are they going to top this game with its open world? How are they going to progress the gameplay and the open world? I feel like they can do it. I just want more. Now, if you're someone who hates devoting from the main story, this game does slow down a hell of a lot, which you may not like, especially with the funny mini games and weird side activity. But I feel like I've got so much value out of this game. I haven't even finished it, and I'm over 100 hours into it. And this totally feels different than Ubisoft, the typical open world game that you're kind of used to. The story is so epic and it's just so weird with its side activities. It's not like a generic open world game. We still have a lot of games to come out this year. Obviously, I'm currently playing Black Myth Wukong. Oh my gosh, what a game. Astro Bot, Silent Hill. I'm trying to think if there's any more. I know we've got Star Wars and Assassin's Creed. I feel like we don't need to mention those. But this is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite so far of this year. I want to know your thoughts on my review of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. What do you think? Will you give it a go? Will you go back and play the other ones? Isn't it for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know. Well, let's take a look at the comment of the day from my previous video. 10 things you need to know about Star Wars Outlaws. Shout out to Mechlon. Nice video, bro, but I'm not buying this on day one. Although I feel Ubisoft games have similar gameplay styles, but I've played games like Assassin's Creed series, Avatar, Immortals Phoenix Rising. Avatar had beautiful graphics, but was boring for me. Thank you, Mechlon, for the support, and I totally get what you're saying. Like, I really wish they would bring back Immortals Phoenix Rising. That was one of my favorite Ubisoft games. I still don't understand why they do that. It's like, it was just a bit different. Yeah, it was an open world, but I loved the Greek mythology. They even did a Chinese DLC. I just don't get why they don't take more risks. Star Wars Outlaws, you'll know soon what we think of this game. It looks fun, but my main problem is that with Avatar, I couldn't wait to play it because it looks so beautiful, but it was so repetitive that I just got bored. Looking at some of the side missions, there was a Queen's Bee thing that you just had to transport to another tree. This is really a quest. I got so bored that how beautiful it looked didn't really matter, and I just hope with Star Wars Outlaws that the fun continues. If it's a fun game, so many little secrets, seeing different worlds, if it's a good 7 out of 10, 7, 8, 7,
6, 5.
But we're just going to have to see. Hopefully I'm not going to have to fork out about flipping 100 quid for the damn game. We're moving soon. Don't think I can afford that, but hey, we still got to do it.